fellow freedom lovers, stop thinkers, thank you for tuning in to O3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy Mango, South Florida, and today's date is Sunday, February 14th, 2021. I'd like to wish everyone out there a happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, even though it's a paganistic holiday, I would say, right? Ancient Rome and all that good stuff. But, well, you know, I want to be talking about a few topics. I'll do my rant in between because it's pretty essential. And I'm just dawns on me, all the social media geniuses out there are really angry about the acquittal of former President Donald Trump. And I didn't really pay too much attention, like just briefly, but there are so many, there is a good amount of discrepancies that makes it illegitimate, period. Now, I don't care if you love or hate this individual. When you use stuff like certain witnesses, what we got from other people, and they don't even testify, that's called hearsay. Like all these clowns and the House managers for the impeachment proceeding. If it was an actual trial, if I was a juror, I'd be laughing at them. I go, you're the biggest bunch of blundering illiterates I ever seen. We're dressing real nice. It is one of the most apparent cases in U.S. history. And people still complain because you got acquitted. I'll tell you this. There's people I know who post all this garbage. You prove to me one thing. You're not qualified to be a U.S. citizen. Your ethics are horrendous, deplorable, and you're null and void. I'm not just saying this out of mouth, but in good faith. Everyone complain about immigrations and so forth. At least a good amount of them, they take the initiative of learning their damn rights. How about you? You failed civics. You never take the initiative on reviewing it. We use the internet for climaxing on attractive people, or just hear a bunch of gossip. You folks need to get a life. Yeah, I'm very critical about it, okay? You're talking to a guy who's not even a Trump supporter or a big worshiper by any means. Don't get me wrong. If he does right, I'm gonna thank him. I'm fair. I'm one of the fairest people out there. If you're gonna witch hunt him from the very beginning, you got that fetish, you're more than a bunch of treasonous cowards yourselves. Benedict Arnold is more patriotic than all you clowns combined. Do yourself a favor. Burn your voters' registration cards and get the hell out of here. You're the ones that contaminate in space. We'll get some like-minded, loving people are interested from other places. You're the ones who contaminate in space. You're the ones who are deplorables. And it's not hating you folks directly. It's not, I don't have that bitterness towards you, but your actions are horrendous. You're the ones that ought to be ashamed of yourselves. At least those other 47 senators that voted against him, at least they were spot on. How about you? What have you achieved? Just bicker on your social media sites and focus on all the one-dimensional propaganda with your communist fist or your Caesar salute, whatever. I'm disappointed in that. All you folks who know who you are. You failed yourselves. You failed your obligations. You can say, yeah, I hate this man so much. As long as he's not in here, I'm good. That's pathetic and unacceptable. When it comes to government, you never trust them. Well, let's never look. And probably even a lot of you folks forgot reading the Declaration of Independence. That's the damn truth. If you don't like that, Just delete me from your pen pals on any social media site. I don't care. All right. My life isn't perfect either. We all made our mistakes, but what I see right now is nothing more than pure stupidity. Do a little homework now and then before running your mouth. I'm tired at times of people some people, these so-called wannabe social justice warriors, call me out, and they always hit a brick wall. They got nothing to say to me. I'm not here to judge any of you folks. It's just these actions. I condemn it with a passion. This is why this world's in hell in the handbasket. Folks like you guys are just an example. All to claim to be political experts, especially around since 2015, 2016. Please. I want to hear your glam rant, baseless rhetoric. It's not going to work. Prove me wrong if you dare. Please. I can accept being corrected at times. I do accept that. Makes me a wiser person. You're never too old to learn. All right? I'll be very honest. It's always good to review ourselves once in a while. I do it. You should too. All right, enough of that. I know. I just running my mouth. I lied again, right? I did the rant in the very beginning, but this. Be very frank. This goes to what has happened in and what's going on with the impeachment. And it says here. This is from the Epoch Times. It came out today, and impeachment based on political differences becoming the norm. Lindsey Graham. And let's see what he had to say here. Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican South Carolina, the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, that impeachments based on partisan differences appear to becoming normalized, suggesting that future presidents will face impeachment challenges. I hope I will be proven wrong, but it seems that impeachment based on partisan differences seem to be becoming the norm, not the exception. And I have to agree with Graham on this. He's right. And I'm not crazy about the dude, okay? So I'll say that. I'm critical of him as well. But here I could say I agree. I fear if this model is followed in the future, impeachment to disqualify one from holding office based on partisan hatred will become the norm. The Republican for South Carolina added. And like I said, I agree. Ain't that amazing? It came after former President Trump on Saturday was acquitted in the Senate 57-43, with 7 Republican senators joining all Democrats. The Senate required a 67-vote threshold to convict the president. Graham suggested that during the impeachment trial, there were key processes and practices that were omitted. He's right. For the good of the country, I hope this will be the last Senate impeachment where a president is impeached without witnesses and the trial records built on hearsay upon hearsay, he said. Secondhand information. All you gotta do, folks, look up, read Black's Law Dictionary. Tell you what hearsay means, okay? It is. Like I was listening to some of the footage. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is why. If I would have been in the Senate, I'll be blasting all those managers, those people that testify. I'll be blasting them to the core. If I would have tried to toss me out, I would defy that. Trump's lawyers primarily focus on the legality of the impeachment effort, saying that the effort goes against the Constitution because Trump doesn't hold office. House managers, however, disagree. Yeah, go figure, because they think they're smarter than everybody else. In the most bipartisan presidential impeachment vote in the history of the country, a powerful majority of both houses of Congress found that the former president incited insurrection and against the Union and the Congress. History record is terrible constitutional crime. Led manager Jamie Askin, Democrat from Maryland, wrote in the Twitter following the acquittal vote. Well, it proves one thing. Another oath-breaking sap. Yes, a constitutional illiterate. Thank you, Congressman Raskin, for being who you are. A clueless elected hack. Last month, the House impeachment then President Trump for allegedly inciting violence at the U.S. Capitol, claiming his speech on January 6th prompted a crowd to breach the Capitol building during the joint session of Congress. The president, during his speech, told his supporters to protest peacefully and patriotically. And I have to agree with it. I have to agree because I've seen the video footage from C-SPAN, unfiltered, okay? Not the garbage, mainstream garbage media that all these little social media pundits say he said to incite it, which is nothing more than a monumental lie. Yes, you got caught up in that deception. Republican Senators Richard Burr from North Carolina, Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, Susan Collins from Maine, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, Mitt Romney from Utah, Ben Sasse from Nebraska, and Pat Toomey from Pennsylvania voted to convict. Thank you for being a bunch of illiterates, especially flip-flop Mitt Romney. Property of Goldman Sachs. His twin brother, by the way, is Barack Hussein Obama. The Goldman Sachs twins. They think alike. They smell the same. They're just tyrannically and lame, So just to let you folks know, tyrannical and lame. I'm sure there are many Alaskans that were very dissatisfied with my vote, but I'm sure that many Alaskans that are proud of my vote. I don't know. I'll have to check the folks in Alaska on that one. Murkowski told Politico after the trial. Murkowski is the only one of the 7 who is up for a re-election in 2022. Trump in a statement that he viewed the impeachment efforts as a sad commentary on our times. In the months ahead, I have much to share with you, and I look forward to continuing our incredible journey together to achieve American greatness for all of our people, he said after his acquittal. That's from the Reuters contributed to this report. Well, I'll tell all these little dingbats out there, okay, and the people from the Senate and all that, and even Ted Deutsch, okay, and dumb down W. Watchman Schultz, congratulations on sucking on your job, okay? You guys are pathetic, unmerited, not qualified. As far as I'm concerned, our tax dollars, we're being I call it, you're a bunch of elected extortionists. Yeah, nothing more than elected extortionists. You know why? Because you can't read, okay? So here's what you got to look at under impeachment. We'll just start here from a few discrepancies here. Article 1, Section 3, Clause 6 and 7. So as it reads here, the 6 here, the Senate shall have the power to try all impeachments when sitting for that purpose. They shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, not Senator Patrick Leahy. Right there, another discrepancy. Null and void. All right, so, as I proceed here, and, it says here, and no person shall be convicted without concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. All right. Judgment in case of impeachment shall not extend further than to the removal of office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit of the United States, but the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, and judgment and punishment according to law. So we can hit here, section Article 1, Section 9, Clause 3, because this latest indictment and the first one have in common. It is. I'm scrolling down here. A bill of attainder. No bill of attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed. So remember, this one here was fast tracked. It was never thoroughly investigated. So it was a bill of attainder. Illegal, null and void. Okay? And I don't care. You can scream and yell all you want and go to a little trigger fit. It doesn't bother me one bit. Okay? It is invalid argument. All right, so we can hit Article 2, Section 4. The president, vice president, all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Okay? Former President Trump, he didn't hold any civil offices. So during that trial. So I can say this. It's an illegal impeachment, period. Okay? That's all. Start harassing, ridiculing these numbnuts, and tell them, hey, if I was dumb, pathetic, and illiterate, could I get that job too? Because they don't even know what the hell they're doing. You got Patrick Leahy, a senator, pro tempore for the Senate. It's null and void, all the above. Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. So you know what? You can cry, scream, and go in your little sissy fits. Post it on Facebook and Twitter, and go and do your little flamboyant rants. It's not going to cut it. So you know what? Your defense is less valuable than me going to the toilet and taking a dump. All right? That's how I look at it. If you can't accept it, too bad. Deal with it. Because deep down inside, you know I'm right. All right. So next one here, we're going to hit a little article here by Bob Livingston from Bob Livingston Alerts, and it says here, America's business is war. So all you Biden supporters, Trump haters out there need to pay attention. Under new President Joe Biden, the United States military has begun building a new base in northeast Syria. According to local reports, it's being constructed in the city of Hasaka, one of the largest cities in Syria's northeast. Did you ever, if that's the case, did you ever got permission from Assad? Ever got permission from him? Yeah, so all you folks out there, all you Biden masturbators, I'm sorry, I gotta stop using those that language. Sorry about that, folks. All you Biden worshippers out there, imperial, tyrannical, bootlicking hacks, explain that to me. Exceptionalism, patriotic, of course. All right. Biden is also freezing the withdrawal of troops from Germany and delaying the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan, because coincidentally, intel reports that Al-Qaeda is regaining strength under the protection of the Taliban. Worse, since Biden took over as president, the drumbeats for war on Iran are growing louder and louder. Oh yes. So, what do you guys say about white privilege 46? When the usurper ran for president, he promised to extricate the U.S. from foreign wars. Instead, he started new ones. Biden is following his lead in Syria. When Trump ran for president, he promised to withdraw our troops from foreign countries because we're not a country at perpetual war. It took him 4 years, and he waited until the 2020 election to order a few thousand troops out of Afghanistan and Iraq, leaving 5,000 there, as well as leaving troops in Somalia and Syria. The Republican War Party and the Democratic War Party are the same for all to see. They all want more war. That's because America's government's favorite industry is war. Neocons especially love war. But the war crowd exists on both the right and left sides. There are two sides of the same coin. The war machine is still a full throttle and has been for more than 2 decades. Do you realize there are now adults who never lived during the time when the United States was not at war, when the Middle East, with a Middle Eastern nation? We're at war with Eurasia, or is it East Asia? It's both, and it's projects to continue for decades. Yep, keep that war machine going, especially in Eurasia or East Asia. Zbigniew Brzezinski is climaxing in his grave. All you gotta do is, folks, read the Grand Chessboard by him. Oh, hey, like I said before, after reading that book, I despise that man a lot more. The elected elites love war at home too. They are fomenting war among the American people and is breaking out. As surely as a class warfare is behind the rise in the Netherlands, is on the cusp of erupting here. Okay, divide and rule, mind control, absolutely. The elite plays classes off one another. They denounce the rich as evil, and the media and the inured play along, hating all billionaires, as if capitalism didn't afford them the opportunity to have the very platforms upon which they complain. The elite self-fully promote their lives in this way, lumping into a group of both hard-working and innovative entrepreneurs who made it the sweat of their brow, and the crony capitalists they created themselves, then call them all rich, as if it is an epithet. They take an arbitrary monetary figure pulled out of the thin air and set it as the Rubicon. Cross it, and somehow you're luckier than most. Got a break someone else never got. Yachts and airplanes are demonized, while the elected elites vacations on yachts bought by others and are ferried about in private jets paid for by others. They accept campaign contributions from Wall Street, then with a wink and nod, demonize Wall Street. Then they print billions of dollars to prop up Wall Street, rewarding it for bringing down the economy. This keeps contributions flowing and themselves in power. They demonize big oil, big medicine, big pharma, and big tobacco, which deserve to be demonized, surely. They enrich those industries with special subsidies and tax breaks and laws passed to their benefit. Their puppets in office who create those privileges are rewarded with more campaign cash, and when their time on Capitol Hill is done, cushy jobs lobbying their replacements. Their policies destroy the middle class. They preach fairness and set their pawns up as arbiters of fairness. They create a parasite class with an entitlement mentality. Then they work to grow the parasite class to keep themselves in power, taking more and more from wages of the middle class. Yay! Government, please take care of me. I can get ramrod in the rear end so many times I'll feel gratified. Think about it, folks. The road to the peasant Holocaust Anonymous, right? Main Street is owned. Tax Freedom Day this year fell on August 12th. That's how long it now takes for the middle-class worker to fulfill his obligation to the Leviathan. The Ponzi scheme that has our fiat money system is unsustainable. It inflates away and the savings investments on Main Street America. While the middle class surges, the retirement class grows. High unemployment, who can even count the employment at this point, directly caused by government lockdown policies, pushes more people out of the middle class and into the parasite class. 1 in 5 American children now lives in poverty, according to a report by Annie E. Casey Foundation. But the parasites live well off the producers. They get free housing, free food, free cable, free cell phones. Their kids eat free at school. Meals are still handed out at schools even in lockdown. These entitlements, along with ever-extended long-term unemployment benefits, become so attractive that the incentive to work is suppressed. Workers look with disdain on the parasites. The parasites look with envy on the workers, wanting not their jobs as what they have. Recent riots in Great Britain demonstrate what happens when the parasites decide they want more. Meanwhile, even the working class is at war with one another. This is encouraged by the elites, but the current administration has doubled down. The thugocracy of the labor unions terrorize non-union workers and companies large and small. Tea Party members, at least those who gathered in 2009 and much of 2010 before the Republican Party began to co-opt the movement, were blue-collar and white-collar. Owners of small businesses, retirees, former military, salt of the earth people from all political spectrums who would not support toppling foreign regimes, making war on countries that have not attacked us for democracy or perpetual wars. And while they indicated they are fed up with the status quo, Tea Party rallies were peaceful and orderly gathering. America is engaging in their right to petition the government. And I have to say, I got to agree with that. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you got other members of the Tea Party I have my differences with too, okay? But every time I went, even when in Fort Lauderdale, they always treat me with respect and kindness. So always keep that in mind. Okay, and Nadine, and she passed away, got cancer. God bless her soul. She's always been a beautiful woman. It's Craig, how you doing? She talks to me, and same thing with Jacques. And it's cool because we have great discussions with one another. That's why I always admire people like that. And now there's another movement going on too, and it's someone I know I'm a good friend with. And you may have, like I said, I support all these things, free speech and right to petition of the government. Yeah, I'm pro-liberty, period, folks. And I know I'm digressing. Sorry about that. Now, Capitol protesters are terrorists, right-wing, left-wing, Republican, Democrat, engaged in 2 minutes hate. The mainstream media talking heads are proud. The elites love war abroad and at home. It distracts the masses from government's ongoing theft and manipulation. Anger with one another allows them to continue their looting. It promotes threats and violence, which allows them to further clamp down on freedom. And the wars abroad and at home equal totalitarianism. It's totalitarianism under the sweet-sounding name of democracy. Remember, folks, democracy is mob rule, 50% plus one. We are a constitutional republic in these United States. Okay, so stop listening, stop parroting the rhetoric. Let's see you think this is not the case. ABC News reported that the Pentagon will deploy more than 1,100 troops to 5 vaccination centers and what will be 5 wave of increased military support for the White House campaign to get more Americans inoculated against COVID-19. Military support for vaccination efforts, you read that correctly. Add to that perpetual war a growing homeland security apparatus that has compiled enough ammunition to shoot every American 5 times over, and a president who has Congress in his pocket and rules by executive order. Yeah, they've been prepping this for a long time. I remember I did an episode pertaining to why Homeland Security is getting hollow point bullets. All right? The big thing about that, like 12 years ago, I would say. I urge you to embrace the non-aggression principle of libertarianism. That is why I'm anti-war and oppose current U.S. foreign policy. When America goes abroad seeking monsters to slay among countries, they have not attacked us and pose to us no threat. When we deploy troops at home to force behavior on people, we act counter to our founding principles and take from others those rights we espouse to uphold. Well, I have to agree with him on that. It's a fact. It is a fact. The whole thing is, my friends, we always got to look at things a lot broader than what it is. Congressman Ron Paul talked about bad foreign policy for a very long time, and it needs to perpetuate, okay, on bringing our troops home, supporting a constitutional republic, not an empire. You can read even the works from both Federalist and Anti-Federalist papers, talks about the dangers of an empire. It is a fact. And all those clowns out there, we need to attack these countries. I want them on the front. Let's see how tough they are. Not your kids, you. I don't care how old are you, how much you weigh, or what you look like. And even these pathetic people in Congress, they all act like a bunch of tough guys and tough gals. You go down here and do some tyrannical stuff without governmental assistance. Let's see how far you go. You'll fail. You'll hit a brick wall. You'll hit a pothole. You'll probably get slapped like a wuss that you are. And I say this because the whole thing is a bunch of cowards. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I get a little disturbed at times, folks. I admit that. I try not to use a lot of egregious language or salty language on my show. So I have no intent, but it's always important you stick to your principles. That's vital. And there's many people out there, even where I live, we have our disagreements, but we try to create a strong dialogue. Because you'd be surprised, hey, there's a lot we have in common. Trust me on that. You'd be surprised. Like I said, I've done it, and it is more more positive results. That's why what we're seeing right now. It's a lot of 10th Amendment practices, nullification, which a bunch of us, including myself, predicted that was going to happen. I am not surprised at all. Even in Florida, some of my shows I disagree with DeSantis, but right now he's being harassed by the Biden administration and all the cornballs that is his pathetic disciples. I got to stick by him on that. But I'll say this too: Ron DeSantis needs to talk to his constituents and his colleagues from the opposite end as well. You need to have those discussions. You're not an elected prince, governor. All right, but like I say, you're not alone in this battle either. So do things in good faith. Stick to your principles, honor your oath. That's to everyone. Doesn't matter where you're at, federal, state, and local. And the voters, you got to do the same. You made a commitment. As registered voters, you made a commitment to protect and defend both your federal and state constitutions. There's no excuses. And we should not get involved in these legal wars. It's a lot of beautiful people from all sides suffered from it. Whether the soldiers, civilians, and beyond. That needs to end. If the whole world told the banksters to stick it, they're done. Get them where it hurts. They want to enslave us all. This is their road to the one world order. Well, they know I gave the big middle finger multiple times. I have no shame. So, and that will be it. Thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, if there's something that's interesting you want to check it out, wherever you do, please send your correspondence to the Quorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these articles on my Spreaker page. And if you want to email me, you can hit me at LokiLuck03 at protonmail.com. Or if you want to send some donations, you can hit me at paypal.me or cash.app/LokiLuck3. Support. If you can support the Epoch Times or Bob Livingston, that would be great. Subscribe, send your donations, that'd be awesome. And I forgot to make a big shout out. I would thank Downtowner Saloon, located at 10 South New River Drive in the heart of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, right along New River, southeast corner section of the Andrews Avenue Bridge, right by the courthouse, the jail. Don't worry, it's a cool place. So, been here for a long time, and I remember I seen owners change here. So yeah, I've been here for a long time. So always appreciate the historical landmark. Here's a cool lot of history here too. So folks, I encourage, if you're in Fort Lauderdale, check out this place. Tell them look up the 3rd Century or Craig. They all know who I am, and that will be it. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.